Well, I was really pleased with the way our team came out and played today. I think that we've been working on having an identity as a team, that playing a little more physical, being a little more aggressive, being able to have better balance on offense, and I thought we, did a good job of that. I thought that, both quarterbacks played really well, executed well in the game. Thought the offensive line got a lot of movement up front. We had 4 or 5 backs that all, did a good job. We still made some explosive plays in the passing game, and defensively, I thought the first unit played really well. I think everybody responded and competed in the game like they should, but I was a little disappointed that we didn't play better with the second defense when they went in there for, more than a quarter of the game. I have too many guys on that group that really have to learn how to compete. They have to learn how to prepare, and they got to figure out what it takes to play, major college football. And so we'll go to work on that. It's going to be important to our team that everybody on the team buys into doing the things that they need to do at the standard that we want to do them. And we have a whole lot of guys on this team that's doing that right now, but we got to get everybody all in. So really played really well in the first half. Missed a couple opportunities in the second half when we drove the ball down there. Probably would have gone for it on a couple of those 4th down situations, but wanted to see if the kicker could, develop confidence, and obviously he missed 2, pretty easy field goals, so that was not what we had planned for him. But, I know there's been a lot of talk around here about, guys transferring and the transfer rule, and, Jalen obviously handled this extremely well relative to being a great team player, a team leader, respecting his teammates, and sticking with the program here, and playing very well today and taking advantage of when he does have an opportunity to play well and try to create value for himself, which I think would be the message that I would send to all players out there who are trying to take advantage of this new rule.
Jalen Waddle had a few big plays, big touchdowns. What did you see from his game, and what kind of dynamic does he bring to this offense?
Jalen's really made some explosive plays. Great punt return today. He's a really explosive guy as a receiver, and really has added depth to that core. And we're really, pleased with his development, and I think is a great addition to the depth of our team in terms of guys that can make explosive plays on offense, and we're pleased with the progress that he's made to this point, and we want him to continue to work on improving and being a little more consistent in other areas when he doesn't have the ball.
Go back over here with Ben.
Jalen Hurts had a couple of passes down the middle today, kind of sticking in the pocket there. Is that part of the progression that you've wanted to see from him?
Yeah, and I think he's made a lot of improvement in that area, and he did make some really good throws. He stuck in the pocket. He read, the coverages, and made some really good plays. And I think that's, one of the things that he realized because of, our offense and the job that Mike's doing, and having Dan Enos as a quarterback coach can really continue to help his development, for the future.
We'll see on this side with Charlie.
Do you have an update on Jonah Williams, what happened to him in the first quarter?
Jonah Williams just twisted his ankle. He's fine. He could have gone back in the game if we wanted him to. We don't have anybody that we feel like has a significant injury, from this game.
Okay, we'll go on this side, on the left side with Tommy.
Yeah, Coach, where do you feel like you're at in special teams right now? And could you also comment on the block punt?
Well, I think that, we were doing a really good job on special teams. I think that we've changed some of the things that we've done in the past. I think we do a really good job of coaching. I think our coaches have done a great job. And, we got some players in the right positions that can make plays. So, we knew we wanted to pressure this guy early, and, they kind of rugby punted right into where we were going, and their shield didn't stay together. And, Derek Keefe did a nice job of blocking the ball and had a big play punt return for a touchdown. So, we've had kickoff returns, but we had another chance to have another big punt return, but her knee was down and probably danced around a little bit too much on that one instead of just hitting it. But, that's something that I think can be a weapon for us and something that we want the players to gain confidence in, so it is a weapon for us.
Up front in the middle with Chris Walsh.
You talked a little bit about the identity of the team. How important was it to start establishing that at this point of the season?
Well, I think it's important to establish it from beginning to end. And, I told the players that, in some areas of our team, I didn't think we were sort of making the progress that we wanted to make, and we kind of challenged the players to do that, and we'll see how we can build on it for the future, because I think it'll be very important for us in the competition that we have in our division and in our league.
Coach Will in the back middle with Ryan.
You spoke to Jalen's character. Did you have to ever sell him on this idea of playing this season even in a backup role? And if so, I mean, were those conversations continual, or did they just, or was this something recent?
I communicate with a lot of players about their future and their situations, and what we think benefits them, and I'm not going to get in specifics. I don't think anybody else has a right to know what we talk about, with players. But I do think that this is not a good rule. The timing of guys being able to say, I want to get redshirted, is not good, the fourth or fifth or sixth game of the season after they played 3 or 4 games. I mean, we have a responsibility and an obligation, in my opinion, to do a great job of helping our players be more successful in life because they're in the program. We have great personal development programs. We do everything we can and have unlimited resources to help them graduate from school, which we have a really good history of. We have career development programs for them. We have a significant number of guys who have been able to develop careers because they're good players who got coached well and developed here well. So we have a responsibility and obligation to the players to do that. But they also have a responsibility and obligation to play for their team. We gave them a scholarship. So, I don't really think it's fair to the teammates to have the option, not to continue to play. I think that's not a good thing. I think the intent of the rule was so you could play a young player, a freshman player, enhance his development. And, this has turned into something that, I think is less than what we all desired it to be.
Coach in the back with Scott.
I don't mean this like it's going to come out, Nick, but you have such great players in practice. When a game gets like this, all due respect to the competition, do you get more out of practice than a game, or is there stuff in a game you still get a lot out of, even when it gets like this?
Well, I think you get a lot out of every game. I think the knowledge and experience that you gain, we try to prepare for every team and have respect for every team and try to get our players to focus on the technical aspects of what they have to do to be able to go out there and play well, and we want them to play with great effort and intensity and create the right habits that you need to play to your standard, not to somebody else's standard. And I think that's important to establish with every player. It's important to be a great competitor, be able to do that. And I thought today we did a pretty good job, that especially in the first half.
2 more and we'll finish up. Mark and then Taryn. Mark right up here. Mark, come on in front right here. There you go. Just wondering, how do you manage Joseph Bullova's confidence going forward after 2 of those missed kicks?
I'm sorry.
How do you manage Joseph's confidence after?
Well, Joseph's very capable, and I think he hit both balls well. He just didn't finish exactly right, and maybe his focus wasn't what it needed to be. But he has been making progress. He's done a good job of kicking off for us, so we have confidence in him, and he makes the kicks in practice on a pretty consistent basis. So made a big kick last week for us in the game right before the half. So we have confidence in him, and we'll continue to coach him with confidence.
Finishing up with Taryn.
How have you seen Tua's leadership grow now that he's settled in as a starter?
Tua's always been a great leader. He's a great team guy too. When he was the backup, he was very supportive of his teammates and very enthusiastic, has really good practice habits, always upbeat in terms of his energy level and his personality, and I think he affects other people in a really positive way. So, And I think being a starter, he's, I don't see him any different. I just think that because he's a starter, he has a better opportunity. Those qualities have a better opportunity to have an impact.